Hi, and welcome to the Women Reinventing Midlife Summit. My name is Deb Johnstone, and like you, I'm in the second half of my life. I've been through two midlife transitions now, and that's why I want to show you how you can design new direction, look fabulous, feel vital, and thrive in midlife and beyond. Today, I'm really excited to introduce to you Jack Perez. Jack is the founder of Q Life, which she founded in 2017. And through this online platform, Jack champions change, redefining modern midlife for women through created content and women-driven brands. Jack has an extensive and deep startup business experience, having worked in marketing and public relations with numerous small to mid-sized companies. And with her own business, she now provides women the opportunity to share, learn, and shop with their second act sisters. Jack, welcome. I'm really excited that you've been able to join us.
I'm thrilled to be here, Deb. Thank you so much for asking me to participate. I'm a little nervous, but I'm super, super excited to be here. So
You're always excited. Whenever we chat, you always seem excited. I've known you for about a year now, haven't I? Since we first connected. Yeah.
yes, yeah, I think I have a reputation for sort of pegging the energy up a notch. But yeah,
Yeah.
I am quiet at times, I promise.
Now, I know today we're going to be talking a little bit about designing that new direction and finding the direction that's right for you. But first, I'd love you to share your transitional story where you found your new direction because it's a really interesting one. I'd love you to share.
Yeah, thank you, Deb. So I bet my story is very common. I mean, I was living my life, right? We're all living our lives. I was sailing through, sailing. Yeah, there was lots of bumps, right? Lots of bumps and bruises because you don't live life at this. Well, I'm going to be 57. You don't get to this stage of life without being beaten up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was moving along. Everything I had always lived my life in what I perceived as bright colors. I'm not the sit in the corner and be quiet kind of person, as you said earlier about my energy. I'm definitely a person that is like likes to be in the midst of everything. Always I'm forever curious. I'm always starting new things. I think of myself as someone living in bright colors, and right around 53, yeah, 52, 53, this weird thing started happening. And here's the thing, I didn't realize I was going through menopause, right? And why
Yeah.
didn't I know that? Why didn't I know that? How in the world did I not know that that's what was happening to me? That just makes me insane. Every other person in
Yeah.
the world, actually more than every other person in the world, because we outnumber the men, goes through this transition. It is completely normal. Yet I didn't know much about it. So I was experiencing an array of uncomfortable symptoms. I had horrible brain fog. I couldn't regulate my emotions. I was not a particularly good parent or a partner. And I also started gaining weight over, and it was slow. It was creeping up slowly, but boy, oh boy, I tell people, I look like a Shar-Pei puppy, you know? And it's so cute on Shar-Pei puppies, all that extra flab, but I did not get away with that. It did not look good on me. So I had all these crazy symptoms, and to top it off, I all of a sudden felt like I didn't matter anymore.
Mhm.
Nobody was talking to me.
Mhm.
I literally thought I could go out in the world in my pajamas and nobody would notice. And it wasn't just men. I didn't feel like, oh, okay, I'm not turning heads anymore. I'm not, men aren't catcalling me. Oh, gee, I really miss that. Don't we all miss that? No. But but it was just, I really felt like I was starting to disappear. And I had to do some soul searching because it's interesting because somebody brought this to my attention. They asked me the question, are is this happening to you, or are you making this happen? Are you allowing this to happen?
Ooh.
Yeah. And I had to dig deep. I did. I had to dig deep, and I'm like, well, what's going on, Jacqueline? Why? I always talk to myself formally. When I talk to myself in third person, I use my formal name, which is Jacqueline. Uh, I don't know why I do that, but that's what I do. Yeah, so I had to dig deep, and I'm like, okay, well, what is going on? And what I realized is that I was unhappy with what I was seeing reflected back to me in the mirror,
Mm.
and I was being hypercritical. Like, oh my God, where did that line come from? Why is my skin sagging? Where did that crease come from? And it's, I was responsible for my own disappearance. And when I realized that, I decided, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm 53. I plan on being here for a really long time. And I'm not sitting quiet in the corner, because that's just never who I've been.
Love it. Love it. I love that. Yeah. And so what happened then?
Well, at first, I wish I could tell you, hey, I had the aha moment, and then all of a sudden the next day I turned on the Cool Life platform and we were ready to go. But as you know, as an entrepreneur, that is not how that rolls, right? So I had the idea, and I started asking, who better to ask if there is a demand or a need, or if it's just you, right? Am I the one that's crazy,
Mm.
or am I a symptom of a larger problem? I began talking to my girlfriends, which is funny because I hadn't talked to them about that before. Turns out everyone I talked to was feeling and struggling with the exact same issues that I was struggling with.
This is exactly what I did. I started talking to my girlfriends and I realized I wasn't the only one. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And for whatever reason, I decided that I could be the champion, that I could lead the cause, because I do that. I'm the kind of person who jumps into the pool and then says, oh, I wonder how deep it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I started the platform with a friend of mine. I used to live in San Francisco, California.
Mm.
And I had a friend out there who was also midlife, a couple years older than I am. And she had done adventure racing, had been a model in Japan, traveled the world, stand-up comedy in New York. She had been living an equally big life and felt the same way. We joined forces, launched Cool Life. We didn't launch Cool Life in 2017. We came up with the idea and then started that process. Now, unfortunately, about halfway through that process, she was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and then had to ghost and fight for her life. And she didn't make it. She didn't make it. But I then decided that I had to take over for her and for me and for all of us. I really felt like I had, in a way, like I had no choice, even though it's all about choice. I believe that we have a choice about everything. But I really felt like the universe had given me this very clear sign, and that for whatever reason, Robin was not supposed to join me on this journey, but this was a journey that I was supposed to take on my own. But I wouldn't have started it alone.
Yeah.
I will forever be grateful that she was there to help me start it, because I'm not sure I would have, by myself.
Mm. Isn't it amazing how we meet the right people along the way in our journey that actually that help us fulfill a purpose that we're meant to fulfill? It's quite incredible when we reflect back. And so what I'm hearing is that reaching out and talking to friends, and that friend in particular helped you get really engaged with what it is that you were meant to do next. And the fact that she didn't make it, I think, is even more reason for us that do make it to go, come on, it is time. It is time to get focused on what we want to do next. It's not the time to shrink away and hide. It is the time for us to shine. Yeah.
Well, because life is short, and we don't know how much time we have. You can't waste it. Ladies, we cannot waste a minute. And by no means does that mean that we have to be constantly on the proverbial treadmill, because we don't, and we shouldn't. There's definite there's a lot of evidence that shows that we need to recuperate and rest and regenerate, but we can't shy away.
Yeah.
We can't shy away from the callings. We can't shy away from the potential catastrophe that we might, because you don't know how, you can't control the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. No, and that's the thing. And if we wait to know what to see what the outcome will be, if we want to have that clear picture of what the outcome's going to be, then we never get started, do we? It's really, I think that intuitive guidance, you never know what the outcome's going to be. You just got to follow the guidance. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Mm,
And it's funny because what I set out to build is not what's there, because
yeah.
you have to also then grow organically, and you have to take the signs that are given to you along the way about what's working and what's not working. And sometimes you find that you started in point A and all of a sudden you're over at W, and you're like, how did I get here? Well, you got there iteratively, right? You got there going through B, C, D, and every other letter of the alphabet. But it's because it's a constant evolution and a constant change, and nothing stays the same. Nothing is static.
Mm.
And that's very important when you're about to do something, get off that diving board, right? To jump into something that's unknown. You have to realize that all you know is what's directly in front of you. And sure, you should have a guide. You should have an idea. I have an MBA. I had a business plan.
Yeah.
I should take out that business plan because I bet I could have a giggle or two.
Exactly. Exactly. That is so true. And it's the same with life, isn't it? It's different stages of life. It's not just when we decide on a new career or a new business, if we're going to start a new entrepreneurial pursuit. That is never what we think it's going to be, because it actually becomes better than that. It's the same as the different stages of life, isn't it? How did you, looking at your life, how did you decide that this was the particular thing?
Right. That's a fabulous question.
Mm,
And and as I said, it was organic. It was organic and iterative, and it changed as I got to know more and more women and did more and more exploration of who eventually is my customer base, right? I mean, these women, that's my customer base. It's my demographic. I have to be able to serve the needs of the women that are in the community. And you have to pay attention
yeah.
to what that need is. And the only way to do that is through conversations, many conversations, and exploration and curiosity, and being open that not necessarily what you thought you were set out to do is what's needed. So you have to allow for some flexibility. You have to allow for an evolution to occur, and you have to trust that you can do that. You have to trust that you're capable. But if I had shown you my resumes before I started Cool Life, I know that when I looked at my resume, I basically thought, well, I'm not particularly great at any one thing.
Mm.
I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I haven't been in technology for 40 years. I did so many things. If you look at my career, my professional career and my personal life, you would think, okay, she's a jack of all trades. And I use that on purpose, because I can. My name is Jack. But, I could do a lot of different things, but I always thought, well, but I don't do any one thing particularly well. Even I took time off to be a mom. And so, well, what's that good for, right? What good is telling someone 5 million times to put on their shoes? Where does that go in the resume, right? How is that valuable? But here's the thing, Deb, and I know this to be true for all of us. We are all uniquely positioned from our experiences, no matter what they are, to take that next step.
Mm.
And it turns out that all of those bizarre, disparate activities that I participated in, whether it was running a marketing and PR firm, or whether it was, working in tech in the Bay Area for years, and being around tech speak and understanding, technology, to being a mom and having that, I'm not a patient person. I wasn't before I was a mom, but I developed patience.
Yeah.
I had to, or else I was going to kill off my progeny. And what's the point of having them if you can't help them survive? So it turns out that when I started Cool Life, and especially when I was left to my own devices, that I had to use all of those skills. They all came together.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me, oh my, I am uniquely qualified to create this, to run it, to promote it, to grow it. Yeah. I mean, I built the website. Am I a tech person? Oh, I'm not a tech person, but I know enough, and there's enough information out there. Hey, ladies, with YouTube, Google, and buckets of tears, there's nothing you can't accomplish.
It's so true, isn't it? I love that. And I think that's a really important point you made there, is even the skills that you learn as a parent, because a lot of ladies, a lot of women go through life, and they spend 20 years being a mum at home. And that is a full-time job where we develop some amazing skills. So I love that you pointed that out, that even those skills that you learn as a mum, you're actually able to take into building your business. It's really,
Oh, absolutely, because I'm
yeah,
dealing with people. I'm
yeah,
dealing with people,
exactly.
and I learned some really good
Mm,
people skills,
mm,
managing the
mm,
2-year-old tyrant, right? I mean, if you can manage a toddler,
yeah.
there's no excuse. You can manage anybody.
Mm, mm. I love that. I love it. Yeah, I exactly the same. For me, it's only very recently that I've realized that I'm an excellent teacher. And I've realized that that has been what I've been doing innately my whole life. And I've been annoying my family with it. Now realizing
And
that I'm
not getting
actually really
paid for it
good. Yeah,
either.
exactly.
Oh, you get paid for it. Now you're a teacher and you get paid for it. Your family should go back and say, here's the bill for all those things I taught you.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a professional teacher. I must get paid now.
But it's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think we can tell ourselves that we're not qualified, and,
Mm,
we can be afraid. I, I, I'm afraid every day. I constantly have fear riding shotgun next to me in the passenger seat. It's just that I have her like strapped down in a car seat with big masking tape over her mouth, so she can't yell at me all day long. But, fear is not a bad thing. It's not.
no, it's not. No, it's normal. It's an actually quite a normal thing. We're humans. We're designed to feel a whole range of emotions, aren't we? It's quite normal. I
Right.
feel doubtful when I do new things. Doubtful every single time. Yeah.
Right. If you're not
Mm.
afraid of the unknown,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Mm.
Right? Like, how did you make it this far? Right. Being fear of the unknown, a good dosey health, but a fear is
Mm.
fine, but you also need to be able to ignore it
Yeah.
when it's not serving you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it doesn't always, it serves us well often, but it doesn't always serve us. Sometimes it's
No.
it's deceiving. It's trying to hold us back, and we just can't let that happen.
Yeah. It's only really a problem when we let it get in the way of what we want to have, and the way that we want to live, isn't it? I always I speak to my fear. I unravel it and go, well, what's really going on here? What are you really afraid of? What's this fear really about? And it's just the fear of not knowing, just what we were talking about earlier, the fear of not knowing what the outcome's going to be. And yeah, and future pacing may be disaster, but it's kind of when we start to unravel it a little bit and start to talk to it, it sort of eases it. I think I find it does for me anyway.
Well, it certainly puts it in perspective, right?
Mm, mm.
And it's okay from my viewfinder, it's okay if I just acknowledge it. I do better. So you say you talk to your fear,
So I,
or you talk to your fear.
yeah.
I when I'm uncomfortable, it's crazy. When I'm uncomfortable or something, I don't want to do something. Oh, I actually throw myself in to the middle of it with the bright light, because I feel that that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to just leapfrog into the middle of the maelstrom, ignore the fear. Now, I'm not insane. I don't, before I do that, I do have a plan and a strategy, meaning if it's something that I want to achieve and I've done enough due diligence to know that that's the healthy choice for me. And I know that, so I can see sort of, down the road, okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to show up in the world. Okay, well, what do I have to do to get there?
Yeah.
Then I no longer pay attention to the fear.
Yeah.
Then that's when I throw myself in the middle of it, because I don't care. I have to get there. And I know that's where I'm going. And I know that the universe is going to stick a whole bunch of stuff in my way to test me, to make sure that, I am resolved. And that's okay. Go ahead, test me, because I will just shine a big bright light, kind of undress it, make it naked. So I expose it, and then it dissipates.
Yeah.
It actually becomes comical, right?
Yeah. 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 It does. Yeah.
And then when you're on the other side,
Yeah.
right? Because here's the other thing, right? You can't have a goal that is so far down the pike that you can't achieve. You have to have a goal that's at least close enough that you can attain little bits and pieces of it as you're getting to the bigger goal. Because if not, it can be you could be very despondent, and it could be very demoralizing, right? If you are like, okay, I've been working at this and working at this and working at this, and I can't get there. So give yourself little victories. Give yourself, even if they're fabricated, who cares?
Yeah.
I fabricate stuff all the time for myself. I don't care. I lie to me all the time, and me just likes it just fine. So we're good.
I love it. I love it. I think that is a really vital piece. Is that making those shorter term goals achievable, so you have the chance to experience some form of success. And it's great to have those, those big picture exciting dreams, but if they're too big, we can feel a little bit despondent because we feel like we're not getting there. But when we break them down to those smaller pieces, it makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, and who says what goal achieved is worth celebrating, right? That's arbitrary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I think that honestly, have the big goal. I'm not saying don't have the big goal. I certainly have a big vision of where I want to be, say, in 10 years. But I don't think about that every day.
No.
I don't.
No.
I think about what's directly in front of me. I keep my eye on, in my lane, looking forward. I don't look left. I don't look right. I just keep my eyes on my road. And it's working. It's working.
Yeah, it does work. Yeah, it's brilliant. So the ladies that are watching this interview now, if you could give them a couple of tips on, when I know a lot of women in this phase of life are really lacking clarity around what direction they want to take next. What would you advise them to do?
Yeah, that's I do. I run into a lot of women that are poised and they're ready and they want to change. They want to reinvent. They're ready to do something, but they're struggling because nothing has revealed themselves, or nothing has been revealed to them, and they're struggling. I have to tell you, if you're in that position, like for me, it came to me because I was ticked off about what was happening to myself. And then I was just ticked off about what was happening to women in general. And I got on a soapbox. So that's how that happened. But if you know you just want to make a change, you know, the best way to do it is to talk.
Yeah.
Talk to all sorts of people, all sorts of women. You know, use your networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. The more women you talk to, the more experiences that you get to participate in from, you know, just, you know, hearing a woman's story. I bet that somewhere in there, something's going to spark,
Yeah.
something's going to stick.
Yeah.
You're going to run into somebody, someone's going to say something just when you most needed to hear it, and it will become apparent and it will be an aha moment. I promise. But it may not happen overnight, and it probably won't happen overnight. But but it's enjoyable to just chat and get to know as many women as you can who do different things and who have made these transitions. Especially find the women, you know, that interest you, that you see have made the transition, and that are flourishing, because chances are they've got some insight that is going to help you.
I love
And
that.
I don't know about you, but because I did that, I probably have talked to thousands of women by now.
Mm.
And with, you know, a couple have not gone well. Not going to lie, there are some women out there, but you got to shrug that stuff off too. By the way, you know, if you run across somebody that isn't helpful, you know, that doesn't want to collaborate, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It really isn't about you. It's about them, and they're not the right fit for you. They're not the right person for you. So move on. Do not waste your energy. Do not try to change it. Do not try to make it better. Life's too short. And I'll let you know, because I've done it for the last 3+ years.
Yeah.
There are a gajillion women ready to share, to empower, to, you know, lend an ear, to guide. I mean, you and I met a year ago and
I
we
know.
chatted, we talked about collaborating. It wasn't the time, but we both knew that at some point in time we would circle back around because there was a spark. We just weren't ready for each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's okay too. And that's the other thing. No woman that you meet and talk to is a waste of time, because you just don't know. It may not be an immediate fit. It may not resonate with you today, but here's the deal. You don't know. 6 weeks from now, you could go, oh my God, now I know why I had that conversation, because it's clear to me now. And that happens to me all the time.
That is so, so true. I see this over and over again, and that's why my programs for midlife women are group programs, for this exact reason. It's exactly the same reason you have your platform. It's because that collaboration of women having conversations together. Um, you know, you're doing it in Clubhouse as well. It's those conversations together that they spark those ideas. It's all of a sudden, and it's like a light bulb turns on. And all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, that's what I'm really good at. That's what I can start exploring.
Yeah, and I'm experiencing it a lot in Clubhouse, because I run rooms. I have a Clubhouse room called Second X Sisters, because my tagline is share, learn, shop, and play with Second X Sisters. And I host rooms almost every day. And now I have other women who are hosting rooms under the club as well, which is great, because it just generates more opportunities for women to come together. The rooms, I always say, look, we're here to share with each other. We're here to learn from one another. And if we can do a little playing, that's good too. A little giggling, a little, because, you know, we girls, we like to do that. We're girls, we're women. But it's wonderful. It's a wonderful room. The women get onto the stage and we help one another. We do. And I've had women who have broken down into tears because they have shared something that is, you know, they're
Wow.
shown their vulnerability. The women in that room cannot wait to unmute their mics to give them the grace that they deserve, to give them the praise that they deserve for being so brave
Mm.
and being transparent, and then to offer whatever solace, advice, just an acknowledgement that what they're going through sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't cure your cancer, but you're here and we're here for you. And we'll be here in whatever capacity you need, just if you just need a shoulder. And it's powerful. So yeah, I see why you
Very.
would do groups rather than individuals. Are the collective power of women is unstoppable.
It is
It
unstoppable.
it is unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're 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 a scary breed.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah,
We
we're a scary
are.
breed.
And the collective wisdom is profound, isn't it? When we gather together, when we have conversations together, we can support each other so much. I find that we're able to coach each other. It's quite incredible. Quite incredible.
Especially if we had kids. Think about that. You took a bunch of cells, you created a human life, and then you took that human life,
Mm,
kept it alive, and not only kept it alive, you basically taught that human life how to be a decent human being.
yes. Yeah.
If that is not the ultimate coaching win, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
What's
We're all
the
equity
biggest
of it.
coaching win ever?
Yeah.
My son's my biggest coaching win. Thank you.
I love it. Jack, you have an amazing free gift to offer our audience, don't you? And it is about the women gathering together too.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. I want to offer a woman in your summit a free year membership to Cool Life. And there are perks, ladies. There are perks to being a member. If you have a business, or if you're a coach, or you're an author and you have a book, or whatever, you can put your business in our business directory, which gives you great exposure to women 45 and above, if that's your audience. I also offer member moments in the Sunday newsletter. So if you have an event or a book signing or something with a link and you want to get more visibility, you can be one of my member moments in the Sunday newsletter. I also have exclusive content, including guided meditations that you can download to your phone. I don't know about you, Deb, but I cannot meditate on my own, but I can meditate if someone guides me through the process. And I have an amazing gratitude expert who provides guided meditations every other Monday. And so you can download those. We also have ebooks written from our experts, our menopause expert, our food expert, that is member only exclusive. Members also get first dibs on any upcoming events. So for instance, we are taking 9 women to Tuscany, May of 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm so excited. And you know what? There's only 4 slots left. it, it is filling up so fast. We've only put this trip on the site like 4 weeks ago, and there are only 4 slots left. But members get first dibs on these kinds of exciting events. More and more of these events are coming down the pike because Cool Life really is still a very novel business. The e-commerce platform is only 2 years old. So if you think about it, anybody who has started a business and is 2 years old, I'm still in infancy, right? But we're growing, and we're growing exponentially. When I first started, I was the only contributor of content. And Deb, this month, at the end of this month, I'll have 35 women
Wow.
who are experts in content, in areas, topics, opportunities that we care about, and they write for the platform. I have 4 more women that I'm onboarding in June. We are covering every topic that is important to us, whether it be empty nest or menopause or life after divorce. You name it, we're covering it, and it just keeps growing. And last but not least, we also have a curated shopping experience that is completely focused on women-driven brands. I want to empower women entrepreneurs. I have curated this experience. I'm always looking for new products. So if any of the women in your world want to be part of that curated shopping experience, I would love to talk to them about that and see if we're a good fit. But if you're a member, you get 10% off of everything in the store all the time. And I know 10% isn't much, but here's the deal. You're empowering directly another woman. You're purchasing with a purpose.
Mm.
And the reason the discount can't be super big is because these women aren't mass producing these products in China. A lot of these products are handmade, one of a kind, unique. And so the profit margin isn't there to just be
Yeah.
whipping out Amazon.com discounts. But we want to encourage women to support other women. And so, that's why we do that as well.
I
Yeah.
love that. That's wow. That's an amazing free gift. I'm actually a Cool Life member.
Yeah, so we are growing so quickly, but everybody wins. Because here's the deal, right? The more we come together, the collective power of us, the more eyeballs we get, and then the more cross-pollination can happen. So someone comes in because there's an article about eyeshadow that they saw on Facebook and they want to know like what's a good new eyeshadow for a mature woman. But then they see an article about menopause and they hop on over to that. And then they see an article about empty nest and their kid's about to go to college. Mine's about to go to college, so I'm about to do that empty nest thing.
Yeah.
And I'm in total denial. I'm pretending it's not happening. I'm going to be a mess when it happens, but I'm pretending it's not happening. Yeah. So we all benefit because it's cross-pollination. So I'm very, very excited about it.
That's brilliant. That's an amazing free gift. Thank you so much. You can access Jack's free gift on this speaker page that you're watching the interview on now. So just underneath the video, you'll see a link there. Just click on that link and enter to win that 3 years membership. So there's one free membership being given away here, and Jack is actually going to do a prize draw right at the end of the summit. So if you would really like to be a member, if you'd really like that opportunity, then putting your details click on the link, putting your details, and make sure that you are in that prize draw. And the same in the email that you received today, there'll be a link in there as well that you can click on and do the same thing there. Enter your details to enter that prize draw. That's a fantastic gift. Thank you so much, Jack.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Because we all win. We all win. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation. So lively and energetic and so inspiring, really inspiring. And you've given everyone a really simple thing that they can start doing, which is to start going out there, meeting new people, connecting with women or even women that they know now, to start having those conversations. I really love that.
Can I add one more offer? Because for those women that want access to a lot of women at one time because they're looking for that inspiration, I highly recommend, coming to my 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's really a weird time for you in Australia, though.
Yeah, it is.
But I think your audience is global, correct?
Yeah, my audience is global, so there'll be people from everywhere.
So if you're awake at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and aware, join my Second Act Sisters Clubhouse room because it's an intimate space. You can get on that stage. You can ask questions of other women, and these women want to help. I'm not making it up. So it is a really good opportunity. And if you need an invite, just send me an email or DM me, or just go to Cool Life and you can send me an email through Cool Life, which is KUEL Life, and I'll send you an invite because it is an invite only platform, but I have a bunch of invites that I can use. I'm happy to invite you to Clubhouse, happy to host you in the Second Act Sisters room, and I'll help you. I'll help you make those connections because that's one of the things I love to do is help women make connections with other women.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I trust that you've really enjoyed this conversation as much as we've enjoyed having it and taken away some inspiration and some tips and steps that you can find useful in your midlife transition. And I encourage you to implement them. That was a fantastic invitation at the end. So I encourage you to do that. Those conversations are so powerful. Keep tuning in for upcoming interviews. we have more incredible women just like Jack sharing on different aspects of midlife, health and wellness, mindset, menopause, beauty, style, and lots more. Jack, thank you so much. This has been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, Deborah. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for selecting me. This is an amazing summit that you've put together.